So here we go, our athletes just making that left-hand turn. Going to be coming up onto the exit ramp. So that looked like one of our Ukrainian athletes. Based on the colours, could have been Dana Soroka, I suspect. It was one of the athletes that we were expecting to qualify for the final. She was a winner recently in Chisinau in Moldova.
Bravo Mürya ve Cemre Cibelek. Çok iyi çıkmışlar sudan. Mürya da Cemre de inanılmaz güzel. Öndeki grubun hemen arkasında. Müthiş bir başarı. Aynı başarıyı bisiklette ve
So as you would expect with such a short swim, not going to be too much separating the athletes at the front and the rear of the field. Looks like we've got all of our athletes now just come through transition, so they have to come into transition. No wetsuits, of course, today. Very warm temperatures and warm water, but the athletes do have to ensure that any equipment that they have, so for today's racing, coming out to swim, that's really only going to be the swim goggles and the hat that must go into the dedicated plastic boxes within transition. If they don't go into those boxes, or they go to the side or get left or dropped elsewhere, then the athletes could be subject to a 10-second penalty. But fingers crossed that is not the case.
şu anda suda kalan hiç sporcu yok. Bütün sporcular bisiklet etabına geçtiler.
So it looks like we're getting an early group forming there. Looks to be about 11 to 12 athletes. So as you can see, straight, flat, fast roads here. And the pace would seem to be on. We generally can get an idea of that looking at the shape of those groups. So you're seeing pretty much almost a long line there. So what you would tend to expect to see or want to see, certainly if you are in that group and you want to be pulling away, typically somebody would go towards the front of the group, be putting the pressure on, and then maybe pulling over, just rolling back in the what we call through and off. So they go through, keep the pace high, and then just pull over to the side, drop back towards the back of the group, and then that pace gets taken up by the athlete behind them. But yeah, there's definitely around so it's 11 to 12 athletes there. It's a little trio, about 5 or 6 seconds behind, looking to bridge that gap. We just lost that time coming out the swim and through a transition. But we'll see over the next few minutes how things pan out here. This super sprint format, the racing does happen very, very quickly. We're probably only looking at just over 20 minutes or so of racing action here. So if you just joined us, just a reminder, you are joining us here for the first of 4 races this morning here at the Balıkesir European Triathlon Sprint and Relay Championships in Turkey. This morning's action is with our junior category, And we're kicking off with our junior women. This is the B final. So this is the athletes that didn't qualify through to the primary final yesterday. So this is athletes that through the semi-finals, which was raced yesterday over the same format, same course, finished with the overall fastest times that fitted into positions 31 through to 60. So 60 athletes started this morning, and the results of this race will go into the overall results to determine the overall positions in the 2024 European Sprint Championships for our junior women. Will of course also go into the European junior rankings as well. So they're number 90 on the bike, part of this leading group. That's Eline de Becker from Belgium. Eline is 18 this year. So just a reminder, the juniors category, that's for athletes up to and including 19 years of age as at the end of this calendar year. Eline was not too far away from qualifying for the final yesterday. She was 13th in semi-final number 3, and it was the top 9 that qualified automatically. So she's looking to come back the second day and try and have another good race and boost her ranking in this European Championship event. We've also got there Mara Kronbach from Luxembourg, race number 7. So it still looks as though we've got, I'm just looking down from this overhead drone shot, I think that is 11 athletes in that escape group, leading the way at the moment in the first of 4 races this morning in our European Junior Sprint Championships here in Balıkesir in Turkey. The 2024 Championships, we will have a busy 2 hours of action this morning, and then we will be back later on with our seniors racing over the same courses and same formats. But this morning, all of the focus is on our junior athletes. These are the stars, not just of the present, but of the future. And coming up in just over an hour's time or so, once we get to the A finals, we definitely have some athletes that I'm pretty sure we are going to be talking about for the next 10 or 15 years. Some real stars already showing their talent on the global stage, and we are going to be seeing them racing here today in this European Triathlon Championship event, put on, of course, by Europe Triathlon in conjunction with the Turkish Triathlon Federation and the local organising committee of the Balıkesir Triathlon. So thank you to all of the many bodies, people, organisations, governments, etc., all involved in putting on such a complicated event. It's going to be many, many athletes racing here this weekend, as well as our elites. There is an age group European Championship as well. But at the moment, it's still this group of 11 racing strongly at the front of the race. You can also see there, I'm pretty sure that that was the Estonian colours, which I'm I think pretty certainly that will be Etrin Etwerk, just 17, and we know Etrin is in good form. Had a bronze medal last week in the Baltic Triathlon Championship, so it wouldn't be a surprise at all if Etrin was in this lead group. I'm sure a little bit disappointed not to have qualified for the final, but as we said, just 17 years old, so still got another couple of seasons in the junior ranks. She's been racing consistently through the season in the very extensive Europe Triathlon Junior Cup program. Just looking through that history of those results so far this year, we've actually had 13 Europe Triathlon Junior Cup races so far this season, kicking off in March in Catera in Portugal, all the way through to, I think it was last week or possibly the week before, in Tabor. So there's lots of action and opportunities for our junior athletes, and part of the development pathway put on by Europe Triathlon, and it's definitely been reflected in the performances at the top level of triathlon. And Paris 2024, of course, evidence of that with the gold medal for Cassandra Beaugrand from France, gold medal for Alex Yee, and gold in the mixed team relay for Team Germany. And all of those athletes previously have raced Europe Triathlon Junior Cup events, but it looks now as if we are coming towards the end of the bike section, and indeed we are coming into transition now. So we've got a couple of our Belgian athletes right towards the front. Romania also to the fore, coming into transition. That's Amalia Maria Singaran. You can see the Estonian colours there. Yeah, I mentioned her a few minutes ago, and that was Etri Netwerk. And that group, they do have, it's only a few seconds, but over a short run, that's going to be, I think, the group from which we are going to be seeing our top finishers coming from in this first race. The B final, of course, the A final coming up a little bit later. While it was Singaran from Romania first into transition, Belgium, the very early stages on the run, seem to be leading the way. So that should be Lottie Manibo and Aline De Becker. Hopefully we'll get some shots from out on the run course to confirm that. So you can see and probably hear a little bit in the background. The wind does seem to be just getting up a little bit. I know the feedback from the venue yesterday was that wind did pick up through the day. Been quite low this morning, but that will be interesting to watch as we go through the morning and then into this afternoon with our elite races, whether that makes the conditions tougher for our athletes racing. While we have our junior women in their B final just out on the run course at the moment. We'll hopefully get a couple of shots of those coming up very soon. You're just looking at junior men for their B final. They are prepping in the swim venue, coming up at 9:35 a.m. local time. So that is just over 15 minutes away from now. So it's 9:35 local time in Turkey, 8:35 Central European time, and 7:35 a.m. if you are watching from the UK. So back to the run course for our women's B final. You're just seeing, as we said earlier, it's a 2-lap run course, and our athletes just going through at the end of lap 1. So they are well now into the last 800 or 900 meters. So, as always, seeing plenty of the iconic and typical blue carpet of triathlon. The film industry, Cannes, etc., has the red carpet, but it's always the blue carpet of triathlon. So now well into the second lap of the run.
Evet değerli dostlar, artık günlük startı saat 9'da verilmişti ve günlük startının altından artık finişe de çok az bir zaman kaldı. Junior Women B finalinde az sonra finish noktasında olacaklar. Geride kalan süre 20 dakika ve şimdi yanımızdan milli sporcumuz Mürya Karayel geçiyor. O da turunu tamamlamak üzere. Bravo Mürya.
So looking down from that overhead shot, it does look like we have one athlete away just making that turn on the return leg, now running parallel to the swim course location on the left. So that means they are really in the very, very final stages. Haven't got a close-up shot, so can't confirm exactly who that is for you. I suspect it could be Sofia Tikhanova. Hopefully be able to confirm that for you in the next few seconds. Oh, it looks like it's going to be a close finish here. So this is the end of the race for our B final for the women. It is Tikhanova, one of our individual neutral athletes. We had our 2 Belgian athletes there, Manibo and De Becker. I think they had came across the line. I think that was 3rd and 4th.
Az sonra onlar da finişte olacaklar. Ve Cemre Civelek geliyor. Harikasın Cemre. Yürekten tebrik ediyoruz seni. Cemre Civelek de şimdi finişe ulaştı.
Athletes flying across the finish line now. Of course, whenever we have this super sprint format, always close action. Not too much between the athletes at the finish line. Lots of tired bodies going to be onto that blue carpet.
Tekrar kalkıp yarışmaya devam etti ve mücadeleyi bırakmayan Mürya az sonra finish noktasında olacak.
So that is the first of 4 races this morning in the books. Leading the way from our B final for our junior women, that was Sofia Tikhanova. Individual neutral athlete, and she's been in great form this year, so actually quite a surprise, and I'm sure she's probably disappointed that she's not been able to show that form through the A final. She's had podiums this year, also in Turkey, was second in Yenişehir earlier in the season, and then had a third place in Silver Lake in Serbia. Just missed out on the final yesterday, raced in semi-final number 2, where she finished 13th. But she's able to come back day 2. That will leave her when the final results are plotted up, alongside the forthcoming results from the women's A final, leave her in position number 31 in the 2024 Europe Triathlon Sprint Distance Junior Championship standings.
Sırada 9.35 Junior Men B finali var ve 3 sporcumuz yarışacak. Doruk Alp Azizoğlu, Taha Eren Coşkun ve Doruk Topaloğlu. Start için son 10 dakika. Start için son 10 dakika. Junior Men B grubu finali.
So just about 10 minutes away now from our men's junior final. All of the races are going to be over the same format, same course, same distances. So we are looking at that approximately 270-meter swim to start in that very different, call it a swimming pool. Yeah, quite a sight with that bright blue water. Part of this location here. The whole venue is based at Balıkesir Avlu, and this swim course, which also means that we have no issues here in terms of water quality, etc., which of course has been a hot topic in the sport of triathlon for the last 18 months, particularly over the last couple of weeks with the events of Paris 2024. They'll be out then onto the 3-lap bike course and then onto the run. That is coming up in about 8 to 9 minutes time, and we'll be back with you in a few minutes time to talk you through the action as we continue with the morning's coverage here at the 2024 Balıkesir European Triathlon Sprint and Relay Championships, with our focus this morning being on our junior athletes. They are the rising stars of triathlon.
Pues la verdad es que la natación bastante bien, conseguí salir bastante adelante del grupo y con una buena transición salí primero al segmento ciclista y ya la bici hice la primera vuelta escapado, me pilló todo el grupo y nada, creo que se juntó toda la carrera y al bajarme a correr pude bajarme también bastante adelante y las dos vueltas de carrera, sobre todo la primera bastante exigente para hacer el grupo de 9 personas que pasan a la final y bastante bien, he ganado y así tengo buen dorsal mañana. Yo creo que va a ser difícil porque hay mucho nivel y ojalá que sea como hoy.
So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are here once again. This is the 2024 Balıkesir European Triathlon Sprint and Relay Championships. Coming to you from Turkey. Coming up, we have race number 2 of 4 that we'll be bringing you this morning, all in quick succession. This morning here on Saturday, focus is on our rising stars, our junior athletes. This is the European Junior Championship. A few moments ago, we had the B final for our junior women. So we are working on a semi-finals and finals format this weekend. All of these athletes raced yesterday to qualify for either the A or the B final. You're seeing the lineup just taking place at the moment for the junior men's B final. Finishing about 5 minutes ago, we had our junior women, and just to confirm for you that it was indeed Sofia Tikhonova, the Paper first across the line in that B final. Individual neutral athlete. In second place, it was Hanna Foltynewicz from Poland. And then we had, I think I called 2 Belgians. Well, we actually had a trio of athletes from Belgium rounding out the top 5. Positions 3, 4, and 5. That was Lottie Manibo, Aline de Becker, D. Lager. Fantastic run there. Just looking through some of the timing data. Hanna Foltynewicz was around about 20 seconds back coming out of the swim, which, given that we are only talking about a circa 300-meter swim, she really ran through the field. And we're going to turn our attention now to our junior men's B final. You can see our technical officials on the pontoon. The flags are raised. That would suggest that we are about to get underway. The athletes are ready, and here they go. So we are in Balıkesir in Turkey. It's a city in the Marmara region of Turkey. The city itself has a population of just over 300,000. And we are here for a second year for hosting this Europe Triathlon Sprint and Relay Championship event. Got quite a unique swim here. The swim location was part of the host venue here, which is called Balıkesir Avlu, and I was informed that the location where the swim is was actually only actually filled in with water about 10 days ago. It's part of the venue here, but it gives you quite a fantastic and beautiful looking swim venue. Also ensures that the water is crystal clear. None of the concerns that we've had from our athletes, organisers, and indeed the whole triathlon population over the past 18 months in the big build-up to the events of Paris 2024. And it's pretty much a point-to-point swim here. So we saw a few moments ago our athletes diving from that pontoon. So they swim directly up this channel, just over 250 meters, at which point you will be seeing in a few seconds' time the yellow buoys, which will be the indication that our athletes need to make that left-hand turn that will bring them into the transition area. So as a reminder of the course, if you are just joining us, just under 300 meters of swimming, 255 meters to that first buoy. Non-wetsuit, the local temperatures, lovely and warm, the water warm as well. So no neoprene required today. Once they come into transition out onto that fast and flat 3-lap bike course, around 7 kilometers in length, and then onto the run for 2 laps of 1.8 kilometers. First athletes coming out of the water. And one of the names that I did spot up there, and he's always a very strong swimmer, Gregor Razva of Estonia, is racing his final year as a junior athlete. And he was the highest placed finisher from last year's European Championships, which, as I said, was also the same venue. It was 22nd last year. They're going to be able to match that this year with speed final being the side of all of the positions through 31 and 60. But class athlete, 17th in the World Junior Championship. I'm going to be a little disappointed that he didn't manage to qualify for that final, but today is another day, and hopefully he will have, for his sake, the opportunity to put that right and show his class today. So this European Sprint Championship for our juniors, part of the Europe Triathlon's Rising Stars program, in its second year now, and very pleased to be able to say that the Europe Triathlon Rising Stars has partnered with Super Tri, formerly known as Super League Triathlon, now rebranded under the Super Tri banner. Super Tri, of course, which has been a real developmental pathway for some of the very, very best athletes in the sport, notably, of course, Hayden Wild. He's really cut his teeth through the Super League program, and that has seen him go on through the development through Super League and now into Super Tri to win an Olympic bronze in Tokyo and then that magnificent silver medal last week in Paris. So we've got the drone shots coming in now. So just looking at the swim exit. We mentioned Razva, one of the quickest through the water, along with Tikhon Butov. So they had just a couple of seconds over their chasers. So every second in this super sprint format really does make a huge difference. Are they going to be able to get away? Will any groups form? We'll be getting those shots from our overhead drone. So early stages on the bike for our junior men in the B final. You can just see on the screen that is some of the junior women. They are preparing for the big one, the A final, to determine the 2024 European Junior Champions. We saw Beate Jansson, Lies captain, and then just doing some stretching there. That was the Netherlands' Sonja de Koning. We're talking about those athletes in about 20 to 25 minutes time. But before then, we have the conclusion of our men's junior B final. We say conclusion, and you might be looking in thinking, well, haven't we only just started? And indeed we have. But this is fast and furious racing. Looking down the times from yesterday's semi-finals, all of these athletes were finishing, I say all of them, almost everybody under 20 minutes. So we are only going to be looking at around about 19 minutes for the total race time for today's racing. You can see Gregor Razva from Estonia on the front there, pushing the pace. Also saw Filip Valencia from Croatia, the distinctive red and white checkered kit on the side of the tri-suit there. Filip's been very, very busy this year. This is his 6th of the Europe Triathlon Junior Cup or Championship events. He raced in Caiole, Silver Lake, Izvorani, Tishivaros and Chisinau in Moldova recently. So one of the other names that I'm going to be looking at in this particular race, wearing number 51, Zalan Trungulnaji from Hungary. Quite a surprise to me, at least, just on face value, that he didn't qualify for the final. He was a big winner on home soil only about 3 or 4 weeks ago at the iconic home race for, I was going to say for the Hungarians, but really for the whole of European triathlon at Tishivaros. That location that has got a very, very long and distinguished history, one of the most popular venues for triathletes in Europe, and pretty much every elite athlete at some point has gone through and raced the Tishivaros and Zalan added his name to the roll of honour by taking the Junior Cup victory there. So today he is in the B final. Now, I'm saying that he's in the B final, just having a very quick look just through just a few of the swim times here. I'm just seeing that we've got 29 athletes. We were due to have 30 athletes starting, and so there is one athlete missing, and I have a feeling it could well be Zalan has not started today. So perhaps he did have an issue yesterday. Maybe there's an injury. Hopefully I have got that correct, but I'm just looking down, at least the info I've got to hand. I'm not certain that Zalan Trungulnaji was one of our starters for the B final here today. So that would probably be a good explanation as to why I didn't get through to the A final. Certainly has the all of the quality, the results, the experience, and the talent that would suggest on his normal form that he would be able to navigate his way through those semi-finals, which took place on Friday. But meanwhile, back to the front of the group here. So we have, looks like that group has expanded. We still have plenty of Hungarian athletes racing here today. The Hungarian system, particularly through the juniors, lots and lots of athletes coming through towards top level, one of which we are on the women's side. We will be talking about extensively in a few minutes' time. But for now, we'll hold that thought and focus on our men. But amongst the Hungarians here, we have Andras Zux, Konrad Zakeli, and Lehal Hobor. So even without, I think, the start of Zalan Trungulnaji, I think Hungary are going to be well represented here. But here we go, our athletes just coming down that blue carpet into transition, getting that overhead shot. So it's this flow through transition. So, and there is Lehal Hobor. He's been busy this year. 10th last time out racing in Tabor. So the athletes will now come in, have to rack their bikes in the designated spots. Helmets have to go into the storage boxes supplied, and then straight out onto the run course. Luxembourg represented in that leading group off of the bike.
Ve Taha Eren Coşkun 3 sporcumuz da.
So getting word from our spotters out on the course that the wind has picked up significantly from our first race this morning. That was something that we did see yesterday. So as we get through to the A finals coming up just a few minutes time after the conclusion of this men's junior B final, and then into the seniors this afternoon. Let's see whether that does impact the racing action at all. Starting to stretch out at the front of the run. You can see now what was a significant group of athletes coming in together is now split up And we have, yeah, really just not even groups of athletes. There's one athlete just got a 2 or 3 second lead from his 2 chasers.
Değerli spor severler, şu anda B grubu finalindeki sporcular geride kalan süre 16 dakika ve ilk turlarını tamamlamak üzere finish noktasının hemen yanındaki koridordan geçiyorlar.
So here the athletes come by at the end of the first lap. You can see the look like Hungary and Estonia amongst those represented towards the front of the field with just 900 meters of running remaining. Reminder, if you're just joining us, this is race number 2 of 4 that we will be covering this morning here. This is the 2024 Balıkesir European Triathlon Sprint and Relay Championships. This morning's action is all about the juniors. This is the European Junior Championships, 4 races back to back. This is race number 2, our men's B final, and then on this we will be straight into our 2 big races of the morning, determining the Junior Women's and Junior Men's European Championships winners for 2024, and well into the final, I'm going to say 400 or 500 meters, probably not even that now, of our B final for our junior men. So they're coming up to that far end of the course. They'll make that left-hand turn running parallel to the swim course, which you see out there to the left. You can see the blue pontoon just over to the left-hand side.
B grubu finalinde 3 sporcumuz yarışıyor. Doruk Alp Azizoğlu, Taheren Coşkun, Doruk Topaloğlu. 28 sporcu start almıştı B finalinde.
So that finish for B final junior men coming up in the next few seconds. Athletes turning up the pace, sprinting to the line. That does look like Razva, who we have talked about extensively through this race. Gregor Razva. Zush from Hungary. Andras Zush taking that provisional second place, but as we can see, really not much at all between the athletes at the finish. These super sprint distances, super fast, but also super close. So taking the tape there, Gregor Razva from Estonia. We had Andras Zuks from Hungary. In 3rd place, Runa de Molenaar from Belgium, Lasse Robeck from Germany, and the top 5 rounded out by Don Michalek from the Czech Republic. So your top 5, Razva, Zuks, de Molenaar, Robeck, and Michalek.
Avrupa Şampiyonası'nda ülkemizi en güzel şekilde B finalinde temsil ettiler. Geleceğin şampiyonları, gurur duyuyoruz sizlerle.
So the results from these B finals, they do count into the overall standings.
Tüm sporcuların yarışmayı tamamladığı
So 30 athletes in the A final. Wherever they finish, they will, of course, fill the top overall positions 1 through to 30. But the B finals for the athletes that didn't qualify for the big final that we're going to be seeing, they will go into the overall results. That will be part of each individual's overall result and European Triathlon junior rankings, etc. So the next race will be with our B finals now in the books. Gregor Rasva taking the win from the junior men's B final, and Sofia Tikhanova for our junior women. We get through to the A final. That will be starting at 10:10 local time in Turkey. So just looking down at my watch here, that's about 12 or 13 minutes away. So that's 10:10 local time, 9:10 if you are based in Central Europe, and tuning in 8:10 in the UK. And talking about the UK, you can see the British athletes getting ready there. Millie Breeze, Isla Headley, and in the background I can see coach Dan Salcedo from British Triathlon. Quite a coincidence, because well, more than 30 years ago now, I was actually at university with Dan, where we both fell into the world of triathlon. Dan, a far better athlete than I ever was, represented Great Britain as a junior, and he has been part of the Great Britain elite coaching program, pathway program, elite seniors, and much more for many years. And he will be the calming voice and advice for the Brits racing in this European Junior Triathlon Championship final. Mentioned Millie Breeze, Isla Headley, and there's also Megan Horning as well. This is only her second Europe Triathlon race start. So she will be able to call on the experience of Dan, Millie and Isla. But we wish all of our athletes well from all of the nations represented here. That is coming up in about 11 minutes time. So, ladies and gentlemen, time is just coming up to 10:02 local time in Balıkesir in Turkey. This is the 2024 Balıkesir Europe Triathlon Sprint and Relay Championships. We've already seen 2 races so far this morning. We had the B finals for junior men and junior women. And now we are So you're seeing them there, Rising Stars. This is part of Europe Triathlon's Rising Stars program. We've had several races through the season already. It's the commitment from the European governing body, Europe Triathlon, to be building the stars of the future, to be bringing you the broadcast coverage, behind the scenes, interviews, YouTube videos, social media, and much more. And it's been great to be a little part of that along the way, helping to bring you some of the coverage so far. We kicked that off with some great racing at the beginning of the season in Catera in Portugal. A fantastic location, racing over the sprint distance. We then had for the second year another great race in Italy in Caole. We've had Tiszaváros in Hungary. So you're seeing there just a few of the names that we are going to be watching, and I think the biggest name arguably that we are going to be watching is the young lady on screen now wearing number 2. She was the winner, semi-final number 1, the fastest qualifier for this final at just 16 years of age. Well, you definitely never want to put on a young athlete. It's really very difficult for anybody to not have some expectation for the fantastic performances that we have been witnessing for 2 seasons now. Hungary's Fanny Salai has to be the race favourite today. Burst onto the wider public consciousness last season when she raced in the Super League E Indoor Championship, the Arena Games. Took a podium finish out in Switzerland as a 15-year-old. We're all wondering, well, who is this youngster? Well, since then, she has more than proven her talent. Unbeaten so far in junior competition. Has raced 4 times this year in Europe Triathlon Junior Cup races in Catera, in Silver Lake, in Wells, and in Tiszaváros on our home course. And the performances have been win, win, win, and win. Fantastic, fantastic runner. We will be seeing her through the race, I'm sure. So our athletes now introduced to the podium. Sorry, the pontoon. So the podium will come a little bit later. The swim start pontoon, seeing Martina McDowell there from Italy. She qualified as the winner of semi-final number 3. these top athletes coming to the podium. There's Megan Hornan, very new to this level of competition. Now, Lise Captain from Estonia, what a season she has had. She was 4th in Caiole in Italy, 3rd in Olsztyn in Poland, 2nd in Silver Lake. And we were wondering, well, is she going to be able to take that final step to top of the podium? And indeed, she did. She did that in the Netherlands at another one of the classic races of the Europe Triathlon European calendar in Holten. That was a great performance, and another one that we were very fortunate to be able to broadcast. I'm very pleased to be able to be doing the commentary on that event, at that Europe Triathlon Premium European Cup event in Holten, and to see Lise Captain continue her consistency. And she has continued on that form post Holten. A winner, I think it was actually last weekend, of the Baltic Triathlon Championship. So Lise Captain from Estonia still got another year in the junior ranks after this year. So look out for her as we progress through the racing. Can also expect to see the French team very highly represented. France, of course, as I'm sure you'll have seen in recent years, have just been absolutely magnificent. Short distance, long distance, male, female, it doesn't seem to matter. Headed, of course, by the likes of Leo Berger, Dorian Connix, Emma Lombardi, and of course a new Olympic triathlon champion, Cassandra Beaugrand, another of the athletes that has developed their triathlon abilities going back several years now through the Europe Triathlon Junior Cup and European Championship process. And that's why these are the rising stars. And we look forward to bringing you the action today. The final athletes almost onto the pontoon. We will see our technical officials on the pontoon raising their flag. All of those flags up into the hands of the start.
Sadece sporcular değil, tüm triatlon severler de heyecan içerisinde startı bekliyorlar. Günün en güzel yarışlarından birini az sonra seyredeceğiz. A grubu finali. Şimdi start verildi ve A grubu finalinde yarışan
So this is it, ladies and gentlemen. We are underway. This is the A final to determine the Junior Women's European Triathlon Champion for 2024. Super sprint distance here in Balıkesir in Turkey. We've got this really interesting point-to-point swim in this super blue swim course venue. So no issues in terms of turning buoys, etc. Pretty much right until the final 10 meters or so. It's straight down the course. So we've mentioned already a few of the names that we're going to be looking out for. Fanny Zalai, Lise Captain. I think I mentioned Sonia de Koning is one of the athletes that we saw in warm-up about 10 minutes or so ago. She's had 2 silver medals this year in Europe Triathlon Junior Cup events and of the French. I think we gave you the big build-up to the French generally. Well, let's take a look at some of those athletes. Going to be looking for Leah Hoart, She has been pretty much, and in fact, I say pretty much, I think ever present in the podium terms in all of the Europe Triathlon Cup events that she has raced to date. Got Manon Laporte. She was a winner in Caole in Italy as another race that I was doing the commentary on a little earlier in the season. 6th here last year, and she went on to take the bronze medal at the World Junior Championships as well. So Manon Laporte, absolute class act. And perhaps a little less known name, but definitely the one we're going to have to be keeping an eye on. But Rasse recently won the French Junior Championships, and then given the strength in depth of the French athletes generally, and indeed their juniors as well, winning the French Junior Championships, that shows that say from France wearing 1-0 is a athlete keeping an eye on today. Was second in the Europe Youth Championships, behind only the young star and the race favourite today, Fanny Salai. She is a class act as well. What we're seeing there, that's the final turn. Swim boy. Looks like we've got Austria's Tabea Huys. She's one of the older athletes, and I say that in relative terms, of course. 19 this year, Tabea. Multiple Junior Cup podiums and race wins, always up to the fore, but leading the way out of the swim. Huys from Austria.
Değişim alanına ilk ulaşmaya çalışan sporcular, arkalarındaki kalabalık sporcu grubunun da onların peşini bırakmaya niyeti yok.
No surprise, of course, Fanny Salai was right there, just 2 seconds behind Huys. Coming out of the water, Lisa Lecomte. I think she was one of the athletes that we just mentioned from France. Mitt Vitamins, she had a good race in Holton recently. Beata Jensen, she was a silver medalist in the Baltic Champs just a week ago, behind Estonia's Lise Captain. So we have some real class athletes here that have won many Europe Triathlon Junior Cup races, which is really the top tier of competition that these junior athletes get to race through the summer season. It's a really extensive program that is organised by the European governing body, Europe Triathlon. 13 races have already taken place through the season. Started off early in Catera in Portugal. And then via Catera we went to Malia, to Yenisheir, to Caole, to Olsztyn, to Silver Lake in Serbia, Izvorani in Romania, to Wales, Austria, Holton, Netherlands, Tishivaros, Cork in Ireland, Chisinau in Moldova, and the last of the races before today was in Tabor. But this is the biggest race of the season so far for these juniors. The European Triathlon Championships. And while we expect racing to be close, small margins definitely will matter today. So we're already seeing what is a class field of 30 split up, and there does look to be an escaping group of around about 7, 8, 9 athletes. So we'll hopefully get a clear sight of those coming up soon, but I'm expecting that will include a swim leader, Tabea Huys from Austria. I think we're definitely going to be having Fanny Salai from Hungary in there. And be no surprise at all if there is probably the entire French team racing here today They are so consistent, so strong across the board. So we're going to be looking for Lisa Lecomte, Leah Huart, Manon Laporte, and Ambre Grasset. See how many of that French quartet make it into our leading group.
Şu anda tüm dünyada Balıkesir'de gerçekleştirilen Avrupa Triatlon Şampiyonası yayınlanıyor. Bu tabi sadece Balıkesir için değil, tüm Türkiye, Türk triatlonu için de bir gurur kaynağı. Özellikle Balıkesir için, reklam için, olimpiyatlara aday bir ülke için inanılmaz bir tanıtım fırsatı. Ve şu anda adı triatlonla anılmaya başlayan Balıkesir için de çok güzel bir reklam oluyor. Balıkesir halkına bu muhteşem organizasyondaki desteklerinden dolayı yürekten teşekkür ediyoruz. İlerleyen yıllarda triatlon adına burada çok daha büyük işler yapılacağına şüphemiz yok.
So here we are with the lead group. We can see the red tri-suit with the white trim on the front. So I'm pretty sure that that is our swim pace setter, Tabea Huis. Always strong, particularly through those first two disciplines. Very experienced. She's done a fair bit of racing in the senior elite competition as well. Pretty sure I also saw was on the front a few seconds ago. She's just drifting down the left-hand side of the pack, having put a turn pace setting at the front. That was the Estonian suit. So we would be expecting to see Liis Kapten from Estonia, already with that victory on the board this year from Halton. But you can see the strength of Huis on the front. Absolutely not wanting to make this an easy bike leg, and I'm sure she will know as well as anybody else, and myself looking in from outside, that the quality of some of the runners, particularly from France, and of course so far at least the fastest runner that we have seen in junior competition, Fanny Zalai. You want to, if possible, be getting an advantage ahead of them going into the run, but if not, and that's going to be quite difficult to create in such a short bike leg, you want to try and ensure that they've really had to work to try and deaden the legs. But now I've got one of the Brits on the front there. That's Millie Breeze. Now Millie is also will know that, and she is pushing on very strongly, trying to pull clear. She was a winner at the European Youth Championships 2 years ago. Has done a couple of the Europe Triathlon Junior Cup races this year, 11 in Katera, and then a 6th place in Tiszaváros in Hungary. That race dominated by Fanny Zalai, the young athlete mentioned consistently through the day.
Sonlarına gelmek üzereyiz.
Looks like Breeze has been brought back into that group with Huys from Austria. Again, not shying away from putting the effort in at the front, but so far proving very, very difficult to break away. And when you have a lead group that does have this sort of quality in it, that is always going to be a tough, tough challenge. One thing that we are seeing here with this group, A, being so strong, but also with Huys, primarily Huys anyway, being the athlete pushing the pace at the front, going to be very, very difficult for any chases from behind to bridge back up. I'm sure if we do see any overhead shot, we will find that that gap is extending. While we can't see the full makeup of all of the athletes in this group, I already at this early stage am going to be, I don't think it's putting my neck out. I think all of our podium positions are likely to come from this group. Such is the depth of quality and across all disciplines as well. Swim, bike and run. These young athletes, many of whom, although 19 or younger, have probably been doing the sport in some cases for 10 or more years already. So very strong, very consistent, and have built up the talent, the strength and that ability to perform across all disciplines. It's no longer enough really in elite triathlon at junior or senior level to have one or even two strengths. You have to be able to perform across all disciplines. We are going to see where this is going to go now, because our athletes making that turn, coming into transition off of the bike. So we can see we've got Tabia Huys. Fanny Zalai, of course, we knew that she's going to be in that group. Pushes towards the front. We've got Manon Laporte, the world junior bronze medalist. Looks like we've got Martina McDowell, we've got Sarah Crociani, Millie Breeze. We've got Kronbach from Luxembourg. So, yeah, I think earlier I called Lee's captain. Doesn't look like Lee's captain was able to get into that league group. We just saw Huart, one of the strong French athletes in the second group, along with Sonia de Koning. So that just shows you the quality on offer here. Sonia de Koning, a very, very experienced athlete. And there we go. There's Lee's captain. Already a winner on the Europe Triathlon Junior Cup circuit, and she has come in to transition towards the back of the second group. So there is going to be no way back towards the podium today, just a 1.8 kilometer run. So with that strength in depth at the front, there is going to be no catching. I don't think the likes of Manon Laporte and Fanny Zalai. Let's see how that racing action pans out at the front of the field. So just a reminder, this is, if you're just joining us, welcome. This is the Balıkesir European Triathlon Sprint and Relay Championships for 2024. We're here in Turkey for the second year. This is the Junior Women's A Final, the third of our 4 junior races this morning. We're on to the run. It's super sprint distance, just a 1.8 kilometer run, 2 laps or just under 1 kilometer. Our athletes are going to be at the end of that first lap now. We can see on the left-hand side, just coming alongside the finish line, this is going to be the end of that first lap, and we can see the distinctive running style and figure powering away at the front from Hungary, our race favourite, Fanny Salai. I think that was Manon Laporte. That would be who we would be expecting from that group. Manon, the World Junior bronze medalist.
Yarışmayı tamamlamak üzere mücadele devam ediyor. Az sonra Avrupa şampiyonlarını göreceğiz.
And I think that was Lisa Lecomte from France in third place, going through at the end of the third lap. So they are definitely 3 of the top athletes there. Some of the names that we've mentioned, of course, there was no doubt that the race favourite, despite her tender years, just 16 this year, Fanny Salai, well, we can't talk about her as a rising star. She is a star now, and she is going to be a future, well, maybe she's going to be a future superstar. I don't know. I'm very loath to put pressure on a 16-year-old, but when she produces performances so consistently as she does, just have to admire her training, her dedication, her talent. It's wonderful to watch, and the global stage will have more opportunities to look in on the progress of Fanny Salai coming up over the next couple of months, as for the second year she will be racing at elite level against the seniors as part of the Super Tri Championship season. Very pleased that the Europe Triathlon's Rising Stars program has recently announced a great partnership with Super Tri. Go and check out Super Tri, formerly, of course, Super League Triathlon. There's some fantastic videos that they have put together in conjunction with a number of junior athletes as part of that partnership, one of whom is Fanny Salai. There's a fantastic documentary. Find out a little bit more about the super talent of the young Hungarian behind the scenes. But as she came through at the end of that first lap, just looked in total control, and here she is. You can see her coming through. No surprise at all. European Junior Champion for 2024. The uber talented Fanny Salai. Manon Laporte adds a European silver to her World Junior bronze. And it is going to be 2 French athletes on the podium, with Lisa Lecomte earning the bronze medal today. So to confirm for you, those results coming through quickly to me. First place today from Hungary, Fanny Salai. Taking the silver medal. In second place from France, Manon Laporte. Lisa Lecomte making it 2 medals for Les Bleus today. Continuing the incredible strength in depth of French triathlon to take the bronze medal. Fourth place for Italy went to Sarah Crociani, and then the first British athlete across the line. We saw her working so hard on the bike, really putting the effort in. It was unsuccessful, but she was brave. She made that
Müthiş mücadelenin artık
big forward progress to try and make the breakaway. Ended up with 5th place today to Millie Breeze. So your top 5, Zalai, Laporte, Lecomte, Crociani and Breeze.
Fransız ve 3. de Fransız sporcu oldu.
Congratulations to all of our athletes
Yürekten kutluyoruz.
racing
tebrik ediyoruz.
today. We'll round out the top 10 for you. In 6th place, joining her teammates
Sporcu bisiklette yarışmayı bıraktı.
in a top 10 finish was Martina McDowell from Italy. 7th went to Austria's Tabea Huis, who would certainly win any awards if it came to bravery and guts and really going for it today. Led out the swim, really was just pushing the pace every time that when you saw her on screen. Tabea Huis in 7th. Ambra Grasset, another of the Super French talents, the French junior champion, was in 8th. Mit Vitamin from Belgium was in 9th. And then rounding out the top 10, representing the Ukraine, Yeva Soroka. Your junior women's European champion for 2024. 16 years of age. What a talent she is. And hopefully we will be continuing to watch her for, well, I was going to say the next decade. It could easily be the next 2 decades, should she choose to. Fantastic performance, as always. Continues to be unbeaten in junior competition at Europe Triathlon Junior Cup level. Now a European junior champion. Congratulations, Fanny Zalai. So that's 3 of our 4 junior races in the books for this morning. We will be back this afternoon, of course, but we still have 1 more race for you. You can see the athletes on screen getting ready. This, of course, is our junior men's A final. That takes place at 10:45 a.m. local time in Turkey. That's 9:45 if you are in Central Europe, 8:45 for those of you watching in from the UK or on UK time. So just looking down at my watch, that is in about 10 or 11 minutes from now. I'm just going to take a couple of minutes break and then we will be back with you to see who will So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again. We are ready and going to be bringing you the action from the fourth and final race of this morning's action here. Saturday morning, we are in Turkey. This is the 2024 Balıkesir Europe Triathlon Sprint and Relay Championships weekend. Our final race of the morning is our Junior Men's European Championships. This is the A final. Just a few moments ago, we saw the European Championship title for our junior women go to our race favourite from Hungary. Fanny Zalai continued her incredible run in international triathlon competition, continues to be unbeaten in junior competition. She came into the race with 4 junior victories already on the Europe Triathlon Junior Cup Series this year, and has added a junior championship to her previous European Youth Championship title from last year. But next up, it is the turn of junior men, and what a lineup it is, including the man on the screen there, Giannuno Battista, from what could be, and certainly developing into, maybe the next triathlon dynasty. He was the champion last year. He went on to win the World Junior Championships as well. He was our fastest qualifier yesterday. All of these athletes raced in semi-finals on Friday. The top 9 athletes from the 3 semi-finals qualified for this A final, along with the 3 fastest non-automatic qualifiers. Giannuno Battista wearing number 1, the top-ranked athlete, probably the race favourite. And we mentioned, or I mentioned a few moments ago, talking about a triathlon dynasty. Well, he is the younger brother of Ricardo Battista, who last year, he also, making it a Battista clean sweep, took the senior title, and with it the under-23 title as well. Just a week or so ago, Ricardo, his older brother, finished 6th in the Paris 2024 Olympic Games and was part of that Portuguese team that was a 5th place finisher in the mixed team relay as well. So there is a great heritage for Giannuno Battista, but he has some serious talent, looking to take the title away from last year's champion. One of them on the screen there, Niels Sergeri. And Niels was 4th here last year in the Balıkesir in the European Championships, and then he would take the silver medal behind Giannuno in the World Junior Championships. So we have the gold and silver medal winners from the World Junior Championships racing here today. There'll be plenty more names that we will be mentioning as we go through as well. And that just gives you, just from 2 names, just a small insight that this is the best of the best in terms of European junior competition. And I think we're going to be seeing some close racing, and it'll be fast as well. We're expecting our finishing times today to be little more than 18 minutes. Short distance, a swim around 270 meters. That point-to-point swim, pretty much from the swim start pontoon out onto that flat and fast bike course, 3 laps for around 7 kilometers, and then finishing off with that 2-lap run of 1.8 kilometers. Beautiful temperatures, 33 degrees in Turkey. Warm, crystal blue, clear water. So, of course, no wetsuits. Neoprene, absolutely not required here today. all of the athletes almost onto the pontoon. Once they are, you will see our race technical officials at the back of the pontoon. When they see all of the athletes on, you will see those flags start to be raised. Once all of those flags are up, then that means that the race will be in the hands of the starter, and then we will be just seconds away from beginning the racing action of the 2024 European Triathlon Championships for junior men. So the action is underway. We saw Batista, who we mentioned there. He chose to be on the extreme left of the screen. So, sorry, extreme left of the pontoon. So as we are looking down now, if you look down from that overhead shot, he is on the far right-hand side. He was on that pontoon, right next to another super swimmer, Martin Kropko. Talking about triathlon dynasties, well, there's another one with the Kropkos. He's got elite brothers and sisters, also racing at a very, very high level. And father Peter Kropko, who even when I was in my infancy in triathlon, I remember Peter Kropko, fantastic triathlete, particularly at the long distances and Ironman. And he, I know, is heavily involved in the coaching of the junior Kropkos coming through. And swimming is one of the things that they excel at. And he will be perhaps in tandem with Giannuno Battista. Rumour is that they would quite like to be working together and perhaps try and get away. We'll see whether that happens. But Martin, another of the fantastic talent coming out of Hungary and then from that Tiszaváros region. Fantastic swimmer, and has used that to win many, many medals at world and European level, particularly through the aquathlon swim run at both junior, under 23 and elite level. So we can see, now this will be really interesting to see, that right hand side now on the left hand side, as we have changed the angle, just coming up to the swim exit. They were both together on that left hand side, and the information that I had pre-race was that there definitely was a little bit of discussion between the two, just about determining would working together be something that they can do. So will this be Martin Kropko and Giannuno Battista? We can see Hungary there, and we can see Portugal. So that does look like it's Martin Kropko, Giannuno Battista leading out of the water. So will they be able to the early stages of the bike? We do have some extremely fast runners in today. The Spanish team in particular, the likes of Itzan Eduaguia, who has won 3 Europe Triathlon Junior Cups this year. He has been fantastic form. He is definitely one of the athletes that is a threat to the defending European and World Junior champion Giannuno Battista. So far, so good for Martin Kropko, Giannuno Battista. They've set their stall out and produced a fantastically fast opening swim. Let's see if they can get away, work together, and perhaps gap the field on this short, fast bike section.
Az sonra gerçekleşecek 6.6 kilometrelik bisiklet etabındaki sürete inanamayacaksınız. Yer yer saatteki hızları 50-60 kilometreyi buluyor bisikletlerin. Özellikle düz bir parkurda yarışıyorlar ve hızları 50-60 kilometreyi bulabiliyor. O yüzden özellikle sizlerden ricamız yarışma alanlarında son derece dikkatli olmanız. Hiçbiriniz o süratte giden bir bisikletle çarpışmak istemezseniz biz de istemeyiz.
So very early in the bike section. It does look like we know we're pretty sure we're going to have Martin Kropko, Jean-Nuno Batista. We've got 3 athletes, and it looks like another couple just trying to join. So just looking down in terms of the swim timings, that could potentially be Alexander Botsalov from Bulgaria. He was right to the 4 in the swim, and he's another excellent athlete. Some great results, regular podium finishes in these top tier competitions. He was a winner this year in Romania at the race in Izvorani. He's actually been top 5 on 5 separate occasions this year. So if Botsalov is the athlete that, or one of the athletes that is in this very small breakaway group, it'll be a great position for him. Looks like we've got 4 there at the moment. So hopefully the next few moments we'll get a little closer up shot from down on the motorbikes of who our quartet is. You can see this quartet do seem to be working well together. They are lined out at the front, and just a few moments ago we did see that through and off. So you're just seeing there that athlete that was at the front comes to the front for a short period of time, keeps the power high, then just pulls over to the left, just gradually drifts down the line, gets onto the back, gets a little bit of a break as they hand over the pacemaking duties to the rider on the front. So you'll be very familiar with this type style of racing if you follow the Tour de France, Giro d'Italia, etc. Professional road cycling, and that's exactly the sort of style that they're just trying to put together at the moment. So it's an individual sport, but at this point in the race, these 4 athletes know if they worked together, that at this point, working as a team, what is best, also what's best for them individually. This quartet have really set their stall out from the start, and as I said during the swim, that was the information that I had been told from down on the ground, that this was had been discussed certainly between Batista and Kropko, something that they were hoping to try. Let's see if both of those athletes are in there. I think they are going to be in there. I did see the Portuguese jersey, and of course European and World Championships, the junior ranks. He's a very talented athlete. His first junior race of the year, he has been racing against senior athletes in the Europe Triathlon, the World Triathlon World Cup, and even the World Triathlon Championship Series, the very, very top tier of international racing competition. So we have, yeah, Kropko is definitely there. Batista is there. We also have a second Portuguese athlete. I think that's Rodrigo Pizarro. And I think I was speculating or just trying to sort of guess a little bit earlier, would it be Botsalov? But just in the short period there, I don't think that was a Bulgarian tri-suit. I think it could be one of the French athletes. Yeah, that is definitely a French tri-suit there. So who will that be? Will that be Gary? Would be no surprise if it was Gary. As we said, World Junior silver medalist last year, 4th in the European Junior Championships. Not seen too much of him this year. He's not been racing a lot or through the Europe Triathlon Junior Cup Series. We saw him in Italy. It's a 4th place in Caiole, but not too much other form to go on other than that. But if it is Sergeri, then he certainly has the history and the quality that would suggest he certainly has the ability to be racing right at the front here. A couple of other talented French in the race as well, Achille Besson and Tristan Douche. Now, Tristan actually was ahead of Nils in that race in Caiole. So could it be Douche? So no let up at all in the pace, and you can just look behind. You still can't see any either individual athlete or chase athlete coming around that bend. So that would suggest they've got, I'm going to say, at least 10 seconds. It could be even more. But they have fully committed to this effort right from the beginning, and right in the background there you can see a long line of chasers, although the screen tends to foreshorten that. Gonna guess, yeah, maybe 10 seconds or so could be their advantage.
Evet değerli dostlar, şu anda 4 kişilik bir bisiklet grubu.
We're not going to be far away from coming into transition now. You just saw lead athlete there just reaching down to the shoes, those shoes which are clipped into the pedals. The athletes will have Velcro straps on their shoes, so they just reach down ahead of transition, just open the Velcro, slip the feet out of the shoes, onto the top of the shoes, into transition, and then dismount before the line. So we know we're going to have here Batista from Portugal, Pissarra from Portugal, Kropko from Hungary, and it is Nils Sergeri. So we have in this quartet the World Junior Gold and Silver medalists. They are going head to head here for the 2024 European Junior Triathlon Championship. Here comes the big group of chasers. And we know that there's some extremely strong runners chasing. I saw Carol Popper from Romania. And keep your eye out too for Itzan Edo Aguirre, as we mentioned a few minutes ago. 3 European Triathlon Junior Cup wins this season. He's been in fine form. And we know he can run fantastically.
Varış noktasının yanındaki koridordan geçecekler.
So a reminder again, that leading quartet off of the bike, we had Januno Batista from Portugal, Martin Kropko from Hungary, Niels Segeri from France, and a second Portuguese athlete, Rodrigo Pissarra. Now, of that 4, if we go on previous form, race results, etc., you would certainly guess that it's going to come down to a battle between Januno Batista and Niels Segeri. That would be my guess, my prediction. And, you know, sometimes in this job, you've got to put your predictions out there, whether they prove to be right or wrong. But we can see the lead, a bike outrider has just gone past the finish line. So this is the end of that first lap. They're just going to come to the left of the finish. And indeed, we see running together Batista and Segeri. But Martin Kropko was just a few seconds behind. But here come the chasers. Now, we said that we have got some brilliant runners from that chase group. They were only about 10, 12 seconds behind. At least visually, I didn't have a clock on it, but they looked like they were closing in, perhaps. So we are into the last 800 meters of running, and I think this could well come right down to the blue carpet, perhaps. We saw Pissarro, Rodrigo Pissarro, go through there. He's dropped right back into that chase pack, but what an effort from him through the first 2 disciplines. But he's not going to be a factor in the podium. But is it going to be a battle between Batista and Segeri for the top 2, or could that chase group come through? Keep your eyes out for Itzan Edo Aguirre from Spain. He is the man this year, shown that he has that ability. And that is why Batista and Kropko put this plan together before the race to try and escape. They wanted to use their strengths through the swim, make it a hard race. Which way is it going to play out? Well, we're going to find that out in the next 3 or 4 minutes. Running up now to the far end, we will see them do the left-hand turn, and they will turn alongside the swim course that you're just seeing come into view in the top left-hand portion of the screen. We can see the runners already on the return leg, so they are not far away now. That finish line is going to be coming up, I think, in well, the next minute or 2. Probably not even that. So which way is it going to go? Oh, Batista comes through. He looked like he has got it. So here we go, defending his title. He was a champion last year. He wins again to add to this World Junior Championship. Januno Batista takes the title. Niels Segeri takes silver and rewarded for a fantastic effort, a brave effort. They really put it in through the swim and the bike to take the bronze medal. Congratulations to Martin Kropko from Hungary. What a brilliant effort, and that just shows that can come together even over those distances. Those athletes absolutely committed to that breakaway right from the very first moment of the hooter, they located themselves on that far left-hand side of the swim pontoon.
İnanılmaz güzel bir manzara.
Great start. Pushed hard on the
Hemen A grubunda
Okay.
Avrupa'nın en iyilerini
Pizarro
canlı canlı seyrediyoruz.
gap, and that proved to be enough.
Balıkesir adına, Türkiye adına
Europe
gurur
Junior
verici
champ,
bir sahne.
junior for the second year,
Avrupa'nın en iyileri Balıkesir'de.
giving domination of the Batista family at this event. It is from Portugal, João Nuno Batista,
Junior Men A grubu startı ve finish ile birlikte
getting the silver medal to his World Championship from
seansımız bitti.
improving 2 positions from
Sonraki yarışmalarımız
in Balıkesir. Niels
15.30'da
Kropko
kadınlar ve 16.40'da elit erkeklerle devam edecek. Saat 19'da ödül töreni. Sizleri çok güzel müziklerle baş başa bırakıyoruz.
So we are top 3, Batista, Segeri and Kropko. Let's run down the remainder of the top 10 for you. In 4th place from Spain, Hector Tolsa Garcia. In 5th from France, Achille Besson. In 6th, the man that we were just speculating, would he be able to run through? He's not been able to run to the podium, but another great finish from Spain for Izan Edo Aguirre. The ever consistent Carol Popper from Romania. One of the most frequent racers that we see. Check him out on Europe Triathlon's YouTube channel. There's some great behind the scenes documentary about Carol Popper. He took 7th. Jakub Sukan from Poland in 8th. Lorenzo Pellicciardi from Italy in 9th. A winner from Caorle in earlier this year. And rounding out the top 10 from France, Tristan Duché from France. So what a fantastic morning of racing action here in Balıkesir. The Europe Triathlon Sprint and Relay Championships for 2024. 4 races rounded out by the A finals for junior men and junior women. And as the saying goes, cream rises to the top, and they started as race favourites and they have delivered on the biggest stage. So your European junior champions for 2024. It's Fanny Salai from Hungary and João Nuno Batista from Portugal. Clearly a hot day in Turkey as well. You can see all of the athletes in I'm not sure if they're ice baths, but certainly the cooling baths be just after the finish line, just getting their core temperature down after this intense racing. It is absolutely flat out. So the difference between first place all the way down to 27th place was just 1 minute. That just shows you just how close the racing can be over this super sprint format. Hope you've enjoyed watching and following with the European Junior Championships this morning. Coverage will return this afternoon. We have another 4 races for you where we turn our attention to the senior elite and under 23 athletes. Once again, it is those 4 races. So we start with the B finals. So for the athletes who through the semi-final process didn't quite qualify in the top 30, those races will kick off at 3:30 p.m. local time. So it's 2:30 p.m. Central Europe, 1:30 UK, with our finals in local time. Our elite and under 23 women will be 4:40 p.m. local time, and our elite men, senior and under 23s. The race together will be at 5:15 p.m. local time. I'll be back with you then. Hope you've enjoyed this morning. Between now and then, grab yourself a drink, some food, whatever, and we will return and regather for more triathlon action this afternoon. For now, goodbye, and we'll be back with you in a couple of hours' time.